let's get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for January 6th, 2020. Let's pull up the index here, as well as we'll go ahead and put today's play on the list. All right, to go over. But let's start with the market here, okay? Qs now up on the day, was a gap down, up 0.6%. SPY up 0.34. Came into to today, bullish bias. Expect sell-offs to be buyable opportunities. Okay, we had a gap down getting bought. Bullishness on the SPY, bullishness on the Qs remains going into tomorrow. We talked about how we're not getting that acceleration. We're not getting the extension, that precursor to a potential blow off top that we would be looking for, right? And we're not also getting the trend changing gap down on any kind of event that would also kind of change the picture here. So, for the last couple months, really, it's been kind of the same thing, maybe a month and a half of this continuous uptrend here on the Qs and SPY, right? And so just choosing not to overcomplicate things, right? Letting the chart, letting the trend kind of lead the way and continue is what we're going to be doing moving forward, just as we have been for the last couple months. Okay, so we'll be watching the hourly to see if there's any kind of break of this uptrend. After, if we get something like that, then we can start to look for any kind of continued weakness on the daily. We just haven't got it yet. Okay, so bullish on the Qs, bullish on the SPY going into tomorrow, expecting sell-offs to continue to be buyable opportunities. Okay, all right, into today's play here, we played the SDC long. Okay, I think someone put it really well. They were kind of asking, but I think they had kind of come to that conclusion after being in the room, being a relatively new member in the room. And they asked, is knowing in the pre-market which is the best gap, which are the favorites, half the battle, right? And that's because as they've seen that what we consider to be the favorites in the pre-market are often what become plays, right? And that's just based on the way that we rate gaps. Okay, and I thought SDC, the favorite gap up, CALM was the favorite gap down. The primary issue with the CALM was that it was gapping to support, never set up any kind of entry anyway. But this was the favorite gap down. Ended up getting bought. Okay, fine. No setup. But the SDC was the favorite gap up and did set up a long setup. Okay, so the SDC played it as a 2-minute high-low right in the morning. Okay, right at the open here. I'll give you the numbers there on the SDC. Okay, and you do see the management there. So SDC, you can see 2 minutes into the open, and we have our play there. First 2-minute bar finish forming, put out the numbers, okay? Over 910 by 890, looking for around 950 as the first target, okay? As we got up into there, I said go ahead and trail half on the SDC, okay? But we did trail the other piece under 910, which it trailed out right there. Okay, did give an idea to re-enter over 930 to play higher. I didn't end up playing it, right? And so as we kind of started the discussion earlier, that yes, we were onto the SDC, which ended up being a very nice green bar. Okay, and that's maybe half the battle. And then what else could have been done better, right, is the management, right? Could have found a way to stay in it for longer or to replay it, okay, as it kind of shook us out and then went right back up. So it's not everything to know just which are the best gaps, which are the things to go after, right? But it's a really, really good start. Now, there are some other things that, I think we did well on this, right? I think one of the common mistakes people do is that they go to break even too early. Very easy to get shaken out, end up with no profit, right? So we did a good job not getting shaken out of initially, able to get to a target one before this red bar came in, okay? Just a word of advice here on shakeouts on something like this. You can see it was a wide range bar. Volume did pick up a little bit. If the bar that shakes you out puts in an inside bar and then doesn't get follow through, meaning on this bar that shook us out didn't go lower, often is a good time to replay. You play it over that bar there, over 925 by 9. The one that I gave was as it kind of based, did another breakout as an idea to get back in it. Okay, so STC small winner, which really had the opportunity to be a huge winner. So, management definitely could have been better on this. But I think the thing that new people are starting to see is that, we're always focused on the right things. Management could always be better. Sometimes we do a really good job with management, because this even wasn't a break of the management plan. I had a wide range bar to start the move, nice pop to start things off, trailing to the inside bar. So it's just that there isn't one management style that's gonna fit all, and so this one just happened to get us out, as I'm sure it did get a lot of people out that had to get back in, right? But unless you're kind of focused on the ones that are gonna give you the right direction, the nice move in the right direction, then management, target picking almost doesn't matter, because if you're picking on something that wasn't going to work, or you're constantly selling at the bottom or buying at the top, right? Then okay, management isn't really going to play a factor as far as how much profit you end up capturing. Okay, so I think now is a really good time to get that pre-market process to a place of kind of consistency, so that when earning season comes, which is just a week or two away, right, you'll have that nice and primed and ready to go. Okay, so nice play on the SDC. Could have been a much nicer play. All right, so we'll just have to do a better job with management moving forward. But I think we've done a pretty good job, as always, focusing on the right stuff, putting ourselves in a position to take advantage of some pretty nice moves, okay? All right, so just to recap, going into tomorrow, bullish on the Qs and SPY, just as we have been for the last month, all right? And then we'll see what kind of gaps, what kind of opportunities we get tomorrow. All right, have a good evening.